Uh, I think it's best to be under by the president, Mr. President.
Why, Mr. President?
Because for the best interest of the agency, Mr. President.
I'm sorry?
The best interest of the commission, Mr. President.
What is the best interest of the commission that requires that it be placed under the office of the president?
Mr. President, same thing with GOB. GOB is under the president. I mean, under the executive secretary and
Under the?
executive secretary.
So, since the GAB is under the office of the president, the Philippine Boxing Commission, without any rhyme or reason, should also be under the office of the president.
What's the question, Mr. President?
The only reason why the proposal is to place the Philippine Boxing Commission under the office of the president is that because the GAB is under the office of the president. Is that correct?
Yes, Mr. President. I think and I believe that the best format for to be under by the president, this boxing commission.
But I thought the GAB has a precisely among the rationale that is being presented before us is that the GAB is too big and therefore we must focus on boxing. So why are we putting the commission on the same level as the GAB insofar as reporting to the office of the president is concerned?
Because, Mr. President, I believe is the best format in term of organization. The president will appoint the members of this commission.
You know, Mr. President, I hope I can convince the gentleman from General Santos that the mere fact that a government official is appointed by the president is not a justification for the direct supervision of the president over a commission or an agency. I think that's very basic.
I understand that, Mr. President.
Mr. President.
150 million. So apart from the substantial amount of 12 billion that we will sink in for these facilities, we expect to spend at least 150 million for maintenance.
Correct, Mr. President.
And if there is no if we do not, how do we intend to fund the 150 million per year?
According to the president of the BCD, they're planning to privatize the operations and maintenance of the New Clark City, Mr.
When
President.
we say privatize, what do we exactly mean?
They are planning to bid it out with the private developers
To
to operate and maintain and generate revenue.
Yes,
for the government.
Nice to hear that, but exactly who would want to rent an athletic stadium?
All over the world, they're used facilities. They're used for concerts. They're used for trainings.
All over the world, there are many use for concerts and athletics use, other commercial venues.
Well, you know, these are very broad general statements, and I think it is admitted that there is really no detailed plan as to how to generate funds.
There is a detailed plan according to the president.
Can we have a copy of that?
Yes, the president of BCD will provide to the good senator.
So you are saying that there is enough economic activity to be able to at least cover the maintenance expense of 150 million per year?
According to the study of ADB, the Asian Development Bank, yes, Your Honor.
And may we know if you have already an indicative list of who would be interested in renting a 20,000 seating track and field facility?
As of now, Mr. President, there are interested developers who are willing to continue to operate but and maintain, but he cannot divulge.
These are not?
He cannot divulge it right now, according to the president of BCDA.
Well, because, I mean, I think with all due respect,
Bigay mo naman siya sa ano.
I only bring it up, Mr. President, because the number also, the number for sharing of 60/40 was also mentioned. So as I understand it, from my readings, the historical sharing is not in fact 60/40. It is more in the high 50s and the low 40s. High 50s for tobacco and low 40s. So I just wanted to clarify that we're not following 60/40. We're following.
no, we're following
historical-
60. No, we're following 60/40, and on the 40% for liquor, we follow the historical sharing.
So the historical sharing is only why again
Because we believe that this is a health measure. And by the way, we're talking about historically the sharing per the technical staff is something like 57.5% as against 42.5%. So we just rounded it off to 60/40.
Well, you know, 1 percentage point, Mr. President, is we are talking in hundreds of billions. Never mind in terms of pesos, but we are also talking in terms of jobs lost, because we have tried to point out many times, that even by the figures, the disputed figures of the Department of Finance that were given us, the reduction is still 43% in terms of production.
Mr. President, I was just trying to reflect the consensus in the caucus. And that is what I present. The gentleman from Ilocos Norte may be correct in his statement that historically it's less than 50, it could be less than 60. It could be in the high 60s. That may be correct, we do not dispute that. What we're just saying is that the consensus in the caucus is 60/40. That the 40% for the liquor will be shared in accordance with the historical sharing.
With all due respect to the good sponsor, I did not hear any discussion
Well, the Senate President can affirm
on the historic. As far as I understood it, that we were going to follow the historical sharing between tobacco and alcohol. And as I said, the actual historical, again, I go back to my empirical data, will show us that it is not 60/40, but it is more, it's closer to the number that the good sponsors mentioned, 57 to maybe 43, or it has changed over the years, but it is never reached 60.
Well, that's why we are not disputing that it reached 60. We're just saying that that is the consensus in the caucus, and that the historical sharing will be applied on the liquor, the 40% on the liquor. That's all that we're saying. That's what we arrived at the caucus. So, Mr. President.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. I cannot say that I'm satisfied with that answer, because as I said, I did not hear any discussion on the sharing. But nevertheless, that debate will be for another time. Thank you very much, Mr. President. Thank you.